Good afternoon. We shall start in a bit. I need to approve numerous requests to join our Microsoft Teams. So, I need to do it individually. So to those who have yet to join, please join our team. So we have 55 students. According to the record that I received today, we have 55 students registered for Group 9. So I'm expecting so at the moment we have 49 people. So at Teams currently we have 41. Okay, so please join. This is to facilitate communication among you guys and also me to you. Okay, so while waiting, okay, I've shared with you the current list of groups. Okay. So this is based on the information that you have provided to me so far. So if there are any mistakes, if there's any mistake in the list, please correct them yourself. Okay, so this spreadsheet is editable, so anyone can edit this spreadsheet. So if you don't have enough members, you can maybe contact the persons in the respective group. Okay, so to those who have yet to form a group, you can also see this list and maybe contact the representative in the group. Okay. So if there's not enough space for you to add, you can create another row here. So 50 students so far. So we have 55 students that I mentioned to you. And please ensure that you have registered for group 9. Okay? At least one student in this group. So can you clarify that you are actually in group 9? Because I saw your name in another group. So this is only for students who have registered for group 9 in Maya. To those who have yet to fill in this Padlet, so at the moment we have 3 contributors, including myself. So we have 55 registered students for group 9. So If you know a friend of yours who have yet to fill in the details that is required here, please tell them to fill in this tablet. Okay, so the links are all in this tablet. Apologies, two of my kids are in this room at the moment. Okay, so this spreadsheet, and also for those who are new, they also need to fill in this survey. Okay, this survey. We have 51 respondents so far. Expecting another 4 to fill in. And then we have our teams. So this is, I created a team for our group 9. Okay. So the link to join this group has already been sent to you. Yeah. So if there's anything that you want to say, you can go to the chat. Yeah, so in general, okay, you can just post anything that you want here. Welcome everyone. Okay, so you can either start any conversation, okay, so you can just reply to any of the images. Okay, so I hope you have already started thinking what you want to do for your Sulam project. So basically, it has to have elements of service and also learning. So you need service capability and you need to learn something from your experience, okay, from the service that you have performed. Okay, you need to learn something. For example, if you want to create, um, if you want to create a database for a particular community, okay, perhaps you can learn something about how they collect the data, you know, how what the data collected is used for. Okay, so all these things, it needs to have an element of learning as well. So you need to learn something from your experience. Okay. So we'll get back to this later. Okay. So this week, we're going to go through the slide in the spectrum. You can now the slide here. So I'm going to go through that with you this afternoon. I'm going to record the session in a while. Okay, for those who doesn't have a group yet, you can try contact any of the person that you may know of, any person in the group, okay, in the list. Okay, if you're individual, you can directly contact them. Okay, in teams, you should be able to find this person because I have so far we have 15 students already joined the teams group, so you can contact uh, those people there. Okay. Can you hear my daughter sing?
Welcome to the world.
Aduh, ya. This is the challenge of working from home if you have small kids. These as staff cannot get in the cafe unless we have permission from the dean.
And you will get never to find me again.
Kakaknya ada golfer. What song are you singing? Sudah papa dengar. So if you have if you have any question, please. Okay, you can't hear me, so you just listen. You just listen to my daughter singing. Yeah. You can't edit the sheet. I believe everyone should have access to it. Let me check. Yeah, I believe you can access the sheet. So some of the names have already moved, so you should be able to edit the sheets with the sheet. Come already. Right. Sorry. Oh, forget to record. taking a while to record. So please don't forget to sign your attendance. Okay. Mm, um, okay, recording has started. Okay, today's lecture is about oral communication. Oral communication. Um, so most of the things, most of the material, I believe it can just be written. And it's not that complicated. If you need further um, explanation about the points in the slide, you can just let me know. You can interrupt me anytime. You can send anything in the chat, or you can speak up. So this is a definition taken from Wikipedia. Communication basically allows us to interact with other people, even um, like computers also communicate with each other. So that's communication as well. So as humans, we communicate with other people. We also communicate with animals, maybe vending machine as well. So when we communicate, so these are the things that that are related to our voice. Okay, when we communicate, um, for example, the frequency, whether it's high or low, the intensity, okay, whether it's loud or soft. Um, so when you want to say something, you may emphasize on certain words, okay, to to know that you want the other person to know that you're emphasizing the point, and different tone convey different um, meaning or uh, interpretation to a statement, to a spoken statement. Okay? For example, later you see in the slide, uh, the statement is the house is on fire. Okay? If you say it with intensity, okay, for example, the house is on fire, uh, it's it means that you really want people um, um, to hear your point. If you say it like in a really very relaxed way, okay, it does not signify that it's something important. Okay, you may say something in a loud voice, okay, to yeah to emphasize on the point. Okay, for example, the house is on fire, so you need to call for help. Um, Even when you say something, okay, with or without smiling, also affect. Um, I'm not sure whether you can actually um, know if someone is smiling by just hearing their voice. Do you think by just hearing someone's voice you can know whether they are sad or they are happy or they don't feel anything? Can you detect or can you, for example, can you know whether someone is smiling while talking to you on the phone or talking to you online, okay, without switching on the camera? Can you know whether that person is currently smiling or not? Boleh tahu tak?
Boleh, boleh.
Boleh? Are you sure? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the
Uh,
from the intonation.
You can try. Coba try sekarang.
I agree with you, Adam.
Hmm? Okay, somebody, okay, please key in any number between 1 to 55. Siapa-siapa lah in the chat. 1 to 55. Between 1 and 55. Okay, 23. Right. Let's see who is number 23. Sekejap, Dah. Lain tu dah lambat Tak dikira. Okay, 23. 23. Okay, 23 is okay, Nepu. Okay. Nepu is number 23. So are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you to say this statement. Okay. I'm going to write it in the chat. Hello, my name is how can I help you? Okay, I've written the statement that you need to utter in the chat. So, without stating whether you're smiling or not, okay, can you just read that statement? And I want someone else to guess whether you're actually smiling or not. You can either smile while saying it, or you can say it without any emotion at all. Okay. Can you?
Now, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, my name is Nepu. How can I help you?
Okay. Right. Number 34. Okay. Mafi. Okay. Mafi, are you there? Mafi, are you there? Are you sleeping or are you watching Netflix? Ada tak Mafi? Not here. Tak ada kat sini.
Hello, my name is Mofe.
No. I'm not asking you to state that statement. I want to ask you whether you can actually guess whether Nepu is smiling or not while saying that statement.
I guess he smiled.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam said that he hasn't shown any emotion. So what about anyone else? Do you think Nepu was smiling when he spoke the statement? So anyone can say in the chat. They're not smiling. Okay. Stress. Kenapa stress? Baru minggu kedua tu. Yes. Okay, but Mafi thinks that Nepu was smiling. So Nepu, were you smiling when you
Actually,
said this thing? No. Okay.
I try to keep my straight face.
Alright. So Nepu wasn't smiling, and Mafi wasn't able to catch that. But I think the majority of you here say that he stayed that without smiling. So in if someone from customer service calls you, or someone who wants to promote a product, okay, there's a difference between you just say it without any emotion, or saying it with enthusiasm. Okay? So just now we see that most of you can detect that Nepu wasn't smiling when he uttered that statement. So if you happen to land a job where you need to call your clients, try to speak with them with emotion as well. Whether it's smiling, so I think it made a difference to your customers or to your client. Okay. Um, and then communication also sometimes involves touching as well. When you first met, you like hug that person. Okay? If you met that person for the first time, so if someone here hug uh, before COVID, before COVID-19, if you meet the person for the first time, I saw this in maybe ladies. Okay, sometimes they, even though they met for the first time, they would sometimes hug each other. So would you uh, hug a person if that's the first time you met that person? Where would you? Tak ada yang jawab. Shake hands only. Yeah, guys normally shake hands. Yeah. Okay, so this is, I'm not sure where this statistic uh, is taken from. So they said that what you see or feel represents 50% of the message. So this constitutes your expression, how you dress, your posture, your eye contact, touch, and also gesture. And the actual words that you utter only constitute 10% of the message. So I'm really not sure what is the source of this study, but I cannot for certain say that it's 100% true all most of the time. But this is to stress that uh, how you it's not actually the things that you say, it's how you say it, how you say it. It involves whether you say it with a nice expression, for example, smiling, when you dress properly for the occasion. For example, if you want to pitch for funds from a group of venture capitalists, or if you want to ask for funds, okay, you would dress, properly. Okay, uh, you need to make eye contact, okay, with the people who wants to give you money, and needs um, to show them that you're actually uh, really enthusiastic, okay, about those people giving you the funds. Okay, if you present something so without any emotion, okay, so people won't be interested in you, even though you have a very um, nice idea. Okay, if you cannot, you know, if you don't have a nice expression to say it, you know, you don't have good eye contact, you may miss uh, the people won't give you the funds, for example. Um, so of course, communication involves sender and receiver. Okay? Unless you're talking to yourself, okay? So it involves only one person. Okay? Um, these are the barriers that may exist when you communicate with each other. Cultural differences. One thing that is okay for one culture may not be okay with a different culture. Okay? Mm, so in order to communicate effectively, you need to know what is the culture. Maybe you travel, okay, after COVID, you travel somewhere, you go for holiday or for work. Okay, at least you need to know, what is considered okay and what is considered not okay in the countries, in the people that is in the country that you're going to. For example, in Malaysia, maybe it's okay if you say that the class start at 3 and then you come at 3:30 p.m. Okay, so people call that like the Malay promise, janji Melayu. Janji pukul 3, datang pukul 3:30. So in Japan, okay, for example, if you do something like that, that may be something that is really really rude. Okay? So in Japan, everything is the time, okay, is precise. Even the time when the train arrives, when the train is going to leave, it's up to the minute. Okay? So if you miss the time, okay, then bye bye lah. Kena tinggal. Okay? So yeah, I've been to Tokyo 3 times, and I really love Japan, because it's really easy for you to go from one place to the other. The public transport is really reliable. Okay? And also, if you maybe study in Japan, okay, your supervisor may work until late, late, even after the working hours have finished, they may still be working. Okay? Um, so if you're a student there or you're visiting that particular university, you may want to wait until your supervisor leaves the office before you want to leave the office. Okay, something like that. Yeah, and generation gap. So things that you understand may not be understood by your grandparents or your great great grandparents, for example, due to the generation gap. Also, language. So if you say something in a very technical way, okay, you explain to a group of elderly about how to hack a computer. Okay? So, and they use all this jargon, so they won't understand. That is also generation gap as well. And also the language that you use. Okay? It needs to be suitable to the audience that you interact with. Okay? Um, uh, okay. Right, so I won't go through each of the point in the slide. I think you can just read them. Yeah, I'll just highlight the things that I think needs to be highlighted. Um, okay, feedback. Okay, feedback is something like when a lecturer asks in the class, do you understand? So semua senyap. So there's no the audience does not give any feedback to you. So actually, this particular feedback is much needed for someone who is speaking, because they really want to know what the things that you don't understand. Sometimes you don't even know the things that you don't understand. So itu masalah sikit lah. So that's a problem as well. For example, if you are going for internship, okay, later, so when your supervisor gives you a particular task that you want to complete, okay, when the supervisor asks you if there's anything that you don't understand, so please don't be shy. You know, ask question, okay, to your supervisor if you don't understand the task that is assigned to you. Okay. So I believe all of you been have not done your internship yet. So this is also important. Okay, eye contact. Okay, if you're speaking to someone or to an audience, okay, and you just look at your points or you just look at the monitor, for example, that's not effective communication. Eye contact. The trick to eye contact, if you're speaking to an audience, is that if you're afraid of looking directly at the audience, you can look at the chairs. You can look at um, the hall. So because the audience does not know that you're actually looking at them, right? So if you like malu-malu to directly look at the eyes of your audience, you can look at the chairs that they're sitting, you can look at the tables, okay? The things that are near the audience. Yeah. If possible, try to say it with a smiling face. But if you uh, do if you do a smiling face like Joker, that is macam scary lah juga kan. But the thing is, but I know a friend of mine who, when he speaks, he likes to smile. So, I think it's a pleasant when hearing him speak. It's a pleasant experience lah. And it's good if you have at the end of your if you're doing a presentation, you summarize what has been said. Okay? Summarizing what has been said in point form so that the points are reinforced to the audience. Um, okay, I'm not going to do. Okay, question. Do you think this burger is tantalizing, or do you think this burger is mouth-watering to you? Big no. Betul kan? Uh, need more pixel, yeah. Very pixelated. Um, have you been to that burger outlet? Apa nama dia? Oh, ya ke? Suka makan. Apa nama kedai burger? Lupa dah. Not like this particular, not Tazunya. This particular, yeah, food shack. Yeah, food shack. Food shack. Nampak. Tasty juga lah. Ada one outlet ICT Mall. Kedai burger K8. Sedap. Okay, so this is based on an article in Forbes. Murah okay, really want to try it one day. Berapa ringgit burger dia? RM2, RM3. Burger K8. Mahal sikit. Mahal sikit. RM5. Yalah kot. Set mahal je. Okay, so back in this article was written in 2014. Okay, one of the top 10 skills that employer say that they want to see in someone who works for them is the ability to communicate verbally with people inside and outside an organization. Okay, when you do your internship, okay, bila dah kerja nanti after you graduate, communication is vital, okay, in any organization, okay, because if you don't communicate effectively, then you may do things wrongly. Okay, for example, a task was given to you, you don't ask questions, you just assume, and then so what you the work that you, the task that you perform does not actually the task that was originally assigned to you, okay, for example. So other so based on this is an article in LinkedIn, right? Okay. Okay, creativity. All right. Okay, nowadays we see that people's jobs are being replaced by maybe AI or by robots or by digitalization. Okay. One of the things that these things lack is creativity. So in order for you to stay relevant, okay, you need to be creative, think outside the box, okay, so that you you are not left out when later when you're looking for jobs, okay, for example, because computers are really great at optimizing, existing methods. So you as a human being, okay, you are responsible to create new methods, okay, for example, that the machine can implement much more effectively, for example. Um, okay, number two, persuasion. Yeah, persuading people to buy is not something that is easy to do. Okay? If you're into sales, this is one key thing that you need to, one key skill that you need to sharpen. Okay, another, uh, so another, from another website, so skills that employers seek. Number two, communication. Okay, so this shows that communication is really, really vital uh, when you do your internship or when you have landed a job somewhere. And when you speak, do not read your speech because it's, I think it's, uh, if you read your speech, okay, but just looking at your text, so you may have limited interaction with the audience. Kakak limited tidak? Okay, kakak boleh tutup pintu tak? That is not part of the lecture. Okay? That is iklan. Okay, I've been giving talks various venues before. Okay, during my days in MIMOS. Actually, when I was a student, speaking public speaking is not something that I want to do. Okay, it's something that I really want to avoid. Okay, speaking in public. But after I landed the job at MIMOS, I was invited to speak at various venues. So now it's something that I have come accustomed to. Okay, it's not something that I'm afraid anymore. So I think this public speaking requires practice as well. Okay, you need to practice speaking at various venues um, to build your confidence. Okay, and also has more experience, okay, to build your experience speaking to, to an audience. Uh, Okay, it's okay to be nervous. Even experienced speakers feel nervous. Okay, it's not something that's bad, but you need to control it. Okay? You need to control your nervousness. Okay, okay. Okay, know your material is also important. Okay, not just memorize, but you actually know the stuff that you are talking about. Okay? So in order to know your material, you need to do research. Okay? If there are things that you're not sure, um, if someone asks you about something and you're not sure, don't be shy to say that I don't know or I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you later. Okay. Okay. Okay, knowing your audience is also important. Okay, when you ask to speak to an audience, um, you need to ask the organizer the kind of audience that you're expecting. Are they school kids? Are they people from industries? Or are they researchers, technical people, people from the village? So knowing your audience allows you uh, to tone your talk at the level that these people would probably understand. Okay, so if you're speaking to a group of programmers, okay, you can use all the programming jargons that you want. Okay, so if you're talking to a group of people who is new to programming, okay, so you need to tone down on the technical stuff that you want to talk about. Okay, for example. Mm, okay, so you can just read all this. Mm, yeah, look at the audience, but don't fix on an individual. Okay, asyik tengok seorang ni je kan. So it can be intimidating. Then orang tu pun mungkin akan that particular person would probably leave your talk because you always look at that particular person. Okay, yeah, don't, when there's a screen, okay, don't just face the screen. Okay, when you're doing presentation, later when you come back to the campus, okay, when you're doing presentation, don't just face the display screen and read everything on the slide. Okay, don't read everything on the slide. It's better to have points, okay, short points, and then you elaborate. That will be much better than just uh, stating whatever is in the slide. Okay. It's not a problem that is faced by students. It's actually um, um, a problem that is faced by anyone actually. Reading, people can read the things on the slide. So if you have just points, so and then you elaborate, so people would want to listen to you. Okay? If you want to have inspiration, you can look at, for example, the recent Apple event that revealed the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro. You see, you take note of how they did the presentation. Okay? Do they use a lot of sentences or just points or maybe some icons to convey what they want to say to you. So if you need inspiration, you can look at that the recent Apple event when they revealed the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro. Okay, so that's so any question then? Okay, you can also ask question like this, okay, based on my experience during a speech. And had bad experience. Bad experience, eh? Bad experience. I can't think of any, but typically, okay, when I gave talk, I would prepare the the slide, update the slide sometimes until late at night before the presentation, and due to that, sometimes I lack sleep, proper sleeping time. So some people, when they do things at the last minute, they would do those things effectively. Okay. Even though, for example, the due date is like 2 weeks from now, but for certain people, they start doing the the, the work, maybe a day before, 2 days before. Okay. Um, but when they start doing it, they would do so uh, in a very effective way. But I really don't recommend you to do things last minute. At least start something. Okay, start something, and then if you really need to do things last minute, then choice. So bad experience. I can't think of any at the moment. But I did feel nervous occasionally. Okay, but when you have start speaking for the first few minutes, then it is okay. You feel like you want to sing at the stage. But, it's like you own the stage. Okay, bagaimana hacking? Shy person. Okay, I was actually a shy person at school. Like I told you, I public speaking to another person. Something that I really wanted to avoid. Okay. Um, I think it requires you to do things that outside of your comfort zone. Okay. It's something that you need to try. Okay. Uh, yeah, try speaking. If there's an opportunity for you to speak to an audience, okay, um, try go out of your comfort zone and try doing that. Let's try. It needs to start. It needs to start somewhere. I think um, being a person who wants to avoid speaking in public, to now I think I've I've progressed from that from being a shy person. Any episode? We're going to discuss a bit about your project later. Sudah project. So the question, just send in the chat. You can speak up. Okay. Before we continue, I would like to recommend a few books to you. So one of the book is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Um, so if you read that book, that book. So I recommend so for a shy person to read this book, it's a book that allows you, that enables you to somehow influence people. If you want to, for example, if you want to pitch, for fun, you have a project that you want to do, so you need money. Okay. Now try reading this book first. Okay. The thing that you can do or that you need to learn in order to influence people. And if you're a politician, if you aspire to be a politician, it's also a good book to read. And also the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey is also a good book as well. Okay. So now you can buy ebooks, right? You have Kindle, you have all these ebook apps. So everything is on the palm of your hand. You can read it anywhere. Okay. And do you know this guy, Frank Albert? Anyone familiar with this guy? Yeah. Okay. So how do you know this guy? Yeah, there's a movie. Right? Yeah. But yeah, so if you watch the movie Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, who played this person. So he's able to trick people into believing that he's a pilot. Can you believe that? He is able to trick people that he's a pilot, a physician, a government agent, a lawyer. So some people, these skills are, you know, are so natural to them. Okay? So they are so confident with themselves that they are managed to influence, other people uh, to believe in him. Okay? So if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Okay, two big Hollywood actors in this particular movie. Okay, Catch Me If You Can. Okay, non-verbal involves anything that does not require words coming out your mouth. So it's non-verbal. Okay, some non-verbal are intentional, disengajakan. Some are unintentional or tidak disengajakan. That comes naturally. Okay, that probably you can't control. So it's unintentional, and some are intentional. Okay, so non-verbal includes your facial expression, eye contact, tone of voice, your body posture, how you position yourself within groups. Okay, so these are all related to non-verbal communication. So these are the types of non-verbal communication. So remember that you have final examination in this course. So it constitutes 30% of your total mark. So I'm not sure whether, but normally we have, I don't know, six lecturers teaching. So each of us will choose a particular topic and provide questions for the particular topic. So last time I did not do question related to this particular topic, but maybe examples of situation may be example question for this particular topic. Okay, so proxemics and orientation are related. Okay, is related to how you position yourself and how you interact with the space around you. That's proxemics and orientation. Eye contact, I think you're familiar with that. Facial expression, so when someone is angry, sad, so each of these emotion has its own expression. Okay. Some people can fake even though they feel maybe unhappy, but their expression does not show that. And the use of gestures, how you move your hands, your arms, okay, how you dress, your posture. Okay, if you have a really nice posture, it shows that you're confident. Okay. It shows that you're confident. So if you have a bad posture, that does not show um, you as a someone that is confident. And please note that um, you can't actually determine how someone is feeling by just looking at one particular aspect. For example, if that person is holding their hips, pegang pinggang dia, pegang pinggang, nampak tak? Put your hands on your hip. Okay. It may mean that that particular person is angry. It may mean that particular person is maybe exercising. Yeah. So, in order to read someone, okay, in order to interpret how that particular person is feeling, there are various factors that you need to look into. Okay, I have a book, tapi tak ada sekarang. So the book is about body language. Okay, body language. So in the book, the authors state that you cannot judge someone by just his gesture, for example, by just his that person eye contact. Whether that person, if the person avoid eye contact with you, okay, it does not necessarily mean that it does not necessarily mean one thing. It may mean a different thing. Mm. Okay. So like I mentioned before, culture. So you need to know the culture of the particular group that you're interacting with. Okay, whether certain things are considered allowable or not. Okay. So you can just read this. Facial expression. So how you dress. Sekejap ya. Okay, sekejap my son jatuh pula. Okay, just quickly finish this slide. Yeah, if you're sitting upright, okay, have a good posture. It shows that you are confident. So paralanguage related to intonation, you know, whether you emphasize certain words when you speak, okay, the tone of your voice. That's related to parent language. Okay. So any questions so far? Right. All right. So once you have communicated whether verbally or non-verbally, so this lecture is about the receiving part, listening skill. Yeah. The three basic listening modes: uh, combative listening is not a good way of listening. So you are more interested in stating your points than to actually understand that person. So you just waiting for the person to end his talk or speech, and you will immediately say whatever point that you want. So regardless of one's view, okay, you just totally ignore whatever that person has said. You only want to combat lah. You only want to lawan that particular person. So lawan tetap lawan, something like that. Okay. Passive, you are you really want to listen to that particular person, but it's not up to the level of active listening, meaning that active listening involves checking your understanding, okay? Whether what you have heard or listened is actually what you thought that the person is trying to convey. Okay? You check for your understanding. Is this true or something like that? Or or you repeat that particular person's point and then ask that person whether it's correct or not, or you rephrase, or based on your understanding, you state your point based on what you understand, and to verify that is actually what that person is trying to say. So it involves checking our understanding. Okay. Okay. Sometimes a person wants you to mostly listen and less to respond. For example, if you ask too many questions, that may be an annoying thing with that particular who wants to tell you something. Okay, so the best way is to let that if that particular person is telling you something that is maybe personal, let him finish first. Listen to everything that particular person is saying without imposing or judging that person yet. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay. Okay, an example. A person is hurt, so he's telling you about his or her feelings. So if the question that you ask is about technical stuff, for example, that particular person uh, has probably lost a relative or a very close friend, okay, and then you ask things that are not really related, or you're trying um, to ask technical things. So it seems that you don't want to listen to, you don't want to listen to his hurt feelings or her feelings. Okay? So which in turn will make the person even more upset. Okay. Okay, interrupting the other party when the other party is speaking is not a good way of listening. Okay. Let that person finish whatever that he or she wants to say, and then uh, you try to really understand what that particular person is saying before you respond. Okay. Be an active listener, not a combative listener. And then when a person is talking to you, avoid looking at your phone or uh, watch something else. Okay, focus on that person. Okay, and make eye contact and don't be distracted by anything else. Okay, paraphrase is about stating what you listen, okay, back to the person in your own words and check whether uh, that is the correct understanding. Okay. So this is to check for your understanding when you are listening. Yeah, avoid distraction. Okay, looking at other people when that people is talking to you. Okay, um, so be so the point is to be an active listener. Okay, listen attentively. Um, read the How to Win Friends and Influence People book. That is also a good book for you to read. if you want to improve yourself in terms of making friends, making more friends, and to communicate effectively. I suppose tak ada question. Okay, sikit lagi on presentation skill. Okay, presentation. You need to do your presentation for your FYP later. Okay, for your assignment, you need to do presentation. During your internship, okay, you may need to do presentation. Okay. um, yeah, public speaking is not something that I think most people want to do, but sometimes it's unavoidable. Okay, it's required. For example, making an assignment presentation, or in the corporate world, you need to make presentation to maybe your clients, stakeholders. Okay. Don't make your presentation too long or too short. So this study, I'm not sure how the study was conducted, but maybe 20 minutes is probably a good time for presentation. And yeah, audience, you really need to know your audience. Okay. Um, and you want people to buy your idea, okay, to give you money. So you know that the audience is someone who has the money. So they really want to know how their money is spent, okay, how each cent is spent, and whether it's worth their money spending, giving their money to you. Okay. When you're selling a product to potential customers, so they really want to know what the benefits to them when they purchase or use your product. So it's important to know the audience, try to capture what they really want, and try to connect. Okay. Don't be short sendiri and only focus on what you want to say. But imagine that you are the audience. So imagine that you are the client, or you are the audience. So what are the things that you want to hear? Okay. Normally people wants to hear things that benefit them. Okay, so um, if you can link that in your presentation, so that would be that would be great. You take time to do your presentation. If you have done presentations so numerous times before, so you may not need too much of the time to prepare your talk. Also depends on the topic as well. For example, I was invited to give presentation on the same or similar topic numerous times. So um, I may modify the talk slightly from based on my previous talks. Okay, so we should just keep the parts where our audience are interested. Okay, depends. If you are speaking to a large audience, okay, and you see that ada orang dah tidur, okay, certain people have already slept or seem not interested. Okay, if the majority of the people, maybe 70% of the audience are going to sleep, or then you should do something that is either something that they don't expect, okay, to wake them up, or you can just skip to the points that they really want to hear. Because sometimes you focus too much on the introduction part, on the things that have been done. Okay, so if you see that your audience really want to know the exact point that you want to say, so you may skip it. You may skip or do something that, if you think that is important, so do something that would awake your audience, or do pause your stop the presentation. Maybe you go to do something else. Okay? Something that is totally different from your talk. Okay, or maybe view a video. Okay. Again, you can look examples from any Apple events before, and I read somewhere that they don't focus on one thing more than 10 minutes. Okay, if someone is talking, okay, they won't talk beyond 10 minutes continuously. Okay? So how they engage the audience is that they have more than one way of presenting uh, the talk to you. Okay, for example, if you saw the recent Apple event, so they have drones that fly from one point to another. Okay, so that is an interlude that that would relax the audience. So the audience won't get bored. So if you have an hour of talk, so maybe 10 minutes uh, talking, maybe another after 10 minutes you do something else apart from just talking, just to keep the audience engaged. Okay. Okay, yeah, focus on a specific topic rather than a broad thing that is more meaningful to the audience. You can insert humor, okay, but don't be like a Maharaja Lawak thing, or um, so if you want to do that, do a stand-up comedy like Hari stand-up. Okay, so a little humor is okay, okay, because you know, um, but don't overdo. So it might be seen as obnoxious. Okay, do research, of course. Know your material. Okay, whatever is written, whatever that appear on your slide, there has to be a reason why it is there. Okay? Don't put things on your slide that you don't know what they are. Okay? So everything that appeared on your slide needs to have a purpose being there. Okay? If that particular point or image or whatever is removed from the slide and it does not affect your presentation, then remove it. Mm, okay, this is normal. Okay, length of presentation. Okay, this particular slide that you're seeing right now is really not a good example of it's not an example of a good slide, I would say. Normally, a good slide would contain not lengthy sentences like this. Okay, normally it's point based, but since the reason why the slides contain text sentences like this is for it to be readable. Okay, because this is probably the main material that most of you would use. So that's why we retain the long sentences, so you can read. So the sentences make sense. So if just in point form, it may not make sense to you. Okay? So that's yeah, practice. I randomly practice my speech, but if you want to be, it depends. I think it depends on the individual. But practice is something that is if you are if you are not experienced in doing public speaking, then practice, especially the time. So you don't want to over limit your presentation time. Okay? So if you're an experienced speaker, you may be able to tweak your presentation so that it fits in the appropriate time. Yeah, arrive early. Okay, because you need to copy your, maybe you need to copy your presentation slide. You need to ensure that the microphone works. Where do you need to stand, or where do you need to sit? Okay, so arrive early. So in any presentation, uh, arrive early at the venue of the presentation. Okay. Yeah, if you forget your speech, it's not the end of the world. Okay. And God willing is not uh, is not it's not kiamat. Um, so don't overthink that you would mess up your speech too much. Don't overthink. Mm, no. Okay, leave behind actually notes that you give to your audience. Okay? So that the audience know that there are things that they may not need to jot down. Okay? So they know that you can just write maybe a little, just additional points to emphasize whatever that you have given in the notes. Right? Any question? Ada soalan tak? Okay, no question. Okay, have you guys come up with a proposal for your project? Okay, because in week 5, okay, minggu kelima, you need to present your proposal. Okay. So week 5, so these materials are on spectrum. So you need to present your proposal on week 5, okay, which is 50%, represents 50% of your marks. And then there's a monitoring session on week 9. The monitoring session basically, we want to see your progress. So what's your current progress on week 9? So if you haven't had any idea yet, okay, the two main things that needs to be there is the service that you are providing to the community, and then what you expect to learn from the community. You need to learn something. Okay? When you provide the service, you need to learn something from it. So you cannot earn money for the service that you provided. Okay? But you need to learn something because that the learning part you need to put that in your report. What you have learned by doing the service. So you can refer to this playbook available on Spectrum. So they provide an example of a the different. So these are the different types of Sulam projects. And you are not going to do any direct Sulam, meaning that everything you need to do everything online. So avoid physical contact uh, with anyone, with, with this community that you're going to engage. So the community can be maybe an association, NGO, maybe a company, a government agency, as long as you can provide a service and you learn something from that particular service. And this book provides examples for students of doing computer related programs. So they gave examples where you develop database for NGOs. So you may learn something about the NGO, about the work that the NGO does, based on the data. You may learn something about what the NGO does, what the NGO does. And I think one suggestion is to digitalize, whatever that the community or NGO is doing manually, so you can convert that into something digital. Okay? Not too complex, okay? Not something of maybe a FYP level project. It can be a simple system that can be used by the community or the organization that you engage with. Okay? Boleh tak? Memang kena boleh lah kan. Something that you need to do. 70%. Okay? 70% of your total marks. So 15% will be given in week 5, okay, where you present your proposal, and then on week 9 there's going to be a monitoring presentation session. You need to submit the final report on week 13. Okay? Week 13, the final project report is due. So tak lama dah. So I hope you can start right away. Okay, don't do things at the last minute. So week 5 is 9th of November. Okay, 9th of November. That is where you need to present your proposal. And then the monitoring presentation session, week 9. So week 9 is on 14th of December. Okay. So 14th of December, there will be a monitoring session. So you need to do a presentation as well. And the final report is due week 13, which is 11th of January 2021. 11th of January. 11th of January 2021. And the NGO or the association that you engage needs to provide, needs to evaluate you. So that is due on week 12. So the format of this evaluation will be determined later. Okay? We'll let you know how, whether, the type of form that is used for the evaluation. That will be given, or the information regarding that will be provided later. Okay. Any question about the project? So because 70%, it's quite good. Ada soalan? Tak ada soalan? Tak ada. Okay, boleh tak by next week you provide me with your initial idea lah. The NGO or the association that you want to engage with. So please share with me. Please share with me next week. I may edit this to allow you to put in your initial proposal, but I will let you know. So you may want to put your initial proposal here. Okay. But this one I will let you know. But by next week, I hope that you can have an idea what you want to do for your project. Does the project have to be computer science related? It is highly recommended that the project should be related to anything that you have learned in your degree program, related to computers, computer science. Do we need to contact the NGO? Yes, because you need to engage with the NGO, and the NGO needs to give you feedback, give you evaluation. So yeah, you need to contact the NGO. Physically, yes, because we don't want to expose you guys to unnecessary risk. Okay, because in a way, why you're doing this is because it is required by the university. Okay, so please don't do it physically. Please do it online. Okay, week 5 is the project proposal presentation. Okay. You need to present your proposal. What you want to do. It is similar to social engagement. So if I believe you have taken social engagement before, right? So it's similar to that course. Okay. Any more questions before we end our class for today? Since we have our Microsoft Teams already set up, so if you have any question, just send it in the chat. Okay. So you have various teams here. You go to our teams, and in general, you can start a new conversation or you can just reply here. Okay. Mm, if you want to message somebody personally, okay, you can do that. Yeah, so you can also start a chat, a personal chat, okay, by clicking on the name of, for example, if you are looking for a group, okay, look up the name of that person, okay, in the list of members, okay, in the list of members, and then here you can send a private message. So if you want to send a private message to me, right click on my name and click on this particular chat icon. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? So if there's no question, okay, please, okay, by next week, I hope everyone will have their group already. So everyone needs to have their group by next week, and also we can discuss uh, your initial idea, okay, the thing that you want to do for your project next week. Okay. Right? Okay? 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 Right. If everything's okay, see you guys next week. Okay, see you guys next week. So remember, get yourself in a group by next week, and we'll discuss your initial idea next week. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you next week. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.